What happens when a world-class nutritionist uses blood panels, cellular biology, and fact-based science to create and monitor healthy eating plans with supplements for her clients? Everyone wins. Welcome to Power on Your Plate with Haylie Pomroy, an educational experience that gives you both the actionable and practical tools you can use every day to get your health, weight, and life back on track.
Hi everybody, Haylie Pomroy here, your nutritionist, and I got a great question about belly fat, belly bloat, above the belly button, below the belly button, and a request for some ideas and tips around that. So I'm going to call this, What is Your Belly Telling You? At the belly button, above the belly button, and below. So I have a couple things when you are noticing an increase in size in your belly. A couple things that I tell people to do is make sure that you test your digestive reserves. This really is more indicative of the upper GI, the salivary enzymes, gallbladder, alkaline ash in the pancreas, the appropriate hydrochloric acid or acidity in the stomach. And you do test your digestive reserves by doing our lemon challenge test. And you can find your lemon challenge test in the member section. You can also purchase it if you're not a member. I think it's like $2.99 or something like that. And you can find that in the store. But what this does is we actually consume lemon. We check your pH before you consume lemon. We get a baseline. It should be ever so slightly acidic, about a 6.8. You then take a bite of lemon, which remember, lemon is very, very acidic in the 4s. And then over time, measure through your saliva how quickly it takes for you to produce enzymes to come back to homeostasis at about a 6.8. You can go through the whole process there, but this lets us know upper GI-wise, how well are you digesting your food? What reserves do you have in order to take macromolecules like protein and carbohydrates and fruits and vegetables and convert them into micronutrients that can help support and establish the metabolism. It can do a lot if you're bloating, or it can give us a lot of information, especially if you're an individual that bloats after a meal. You definitely want to check your digestive reserves. It's also good to check your pH. We have a worksheet again in the member section that tells you a great protocol that we use checking your urine and saliva pH. And again, it gives us an indication of, remember, the pH of the blood stays super, super stable or we're all out of here, but how the body uses two of the excrements, the urine and the saliva, to try and constantly keep that homeostasis. And a lot of that homeostasis is established again by enzymes that circulate through the bloodstream. This helps us learn a little bit more about not only the upper GI, but also the lower GI. So those are two amazing self-diagnostics that you can do. But another interesting one is doing some measurements of the belly when you first wake up. So I tell people to measure 3 places. You want to measure at the belly button, you want to measure 2 inches below the belly button, and 1 inch above the belly button. And so typically, when an individual measure that in the morning, and then usually I have you measure it after lunch. So you've had breakfast, you've had a snack, you've had lunch, things are starting to move into the small intestine, you're getting a lot of indolism or scatolism or amino acid digestion starting to happen, complex carbohydrates are being converted into sugars, lots going on digestively in that day by this amount of time. And so we go ahead and we measure those 3 spaces again, 2 inches above the belly button, 2 inches below the belly button. Typically, when I have individuals that have an increase with more than an inch above the belly button, we're usually looking at digestive stress, a lack or imbalance in digestive enzymes and probiotics. Typically, if I have an increase by an inch or more, 2 inches below the belly button, individuals are having more difficulty with hormone metabolism. The other is, I use this suggestion if you're using supplements or targeted supplements to help create or strike a healthier homeostasis. If you feel bloated and it's soft and fluffy, a lot of times the bye-bye belly fat is really great. If it feels hard and distended, a lot of times the fat blaster is actually a better support for that. And if you're one that notices you're really bloated by the end of the day, but you wake up in the morning and you have a nice flat belly or it's flatter, a lot of times we'll do digestive enzymes, probiotics, and the adrenal repair bundle. So that has energy and stress. If you don't do supplements, that's totally cool too. You can do this at-home self-diagnostics and look at if it's above the belly button, you have more than an inch after lunch of increase. You want to look at doing D-burn. That's all. You can do all that food-based. And if it's below, you want to look at doing H-burn, a little intensive there. That's really helps with hormone-based. Anyways, I hope kind of this being in awe of your body and self-exploration and a little bit of fun measurements and some good ideas can help if you're looking at what the heck is going on with your belly during the day. All right, guys, keep putting power on your plate.
Thank you for listening to another inspiring episode of Power on Your Plate with Haylie Pomroy. Please remember to share the amazing science and tools with someone you love. The more we know, the more we all lift our global health together. Visit www.hayliepomroy.com to get notes from today's show and to take your education and health to a new level of success and happiness.
Information on this podcast is provided for informational purposes only and is not intended as a substitute for the advice provided by your physician or other healthcare professional or any information contained on or in any product label or packaging. You should not use the information on this podcast for diagnosing or treating a health problem or disease or prescribing any medication or other treatment. You should always speak with your physician or other healthcare professional before taking any medication or nutritional